listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Heath. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Yeah. A lot of people are getting their money back, apparently, from stocks right now. But we'll get into that a little later on because we need to talk about WWE SmackDown AfterBuzz. Welcome, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg, and with me, as always, I got Miss Takee.
Busy dancing.
She's busy dancing, too.
Waiting for Rome to get behind me. You can get behind me?
How do you mean
She
that
wanted
exactly?
to grind with you. She wanted to grind.
Because, yeah, we're going to have to cut all these cameras off.
You gotta get in front. What?
You want to be sandwiched between Rome and I?
Yeah.
Wow. And we're off to a great start today.
Sharing is caring. Well,
Hey, Rome, how's it going?
Man, I'm obviously excellent right now. It's a good day.
This day took a crazy turn in the last 60 seconds.
Forget the
Look,
WWE
we're gonna make SmackDown fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we weren't expecting a whole lot this week because half the roster was overseas for their European tour. So, I mean, we didn't have Shield, we didn't have Orton, we didn't have a lot of guys. But the key thing that's going on right now is Daniel Bryan, and we had the recap of what happened on Raw to start off this week's SmackDown from Greensboro, North Carolina. And Daniel Bryan just yesterday had neck surgery. He is going to be out for, who knows, it might be 1 month, it might be 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of the champion right now.
Kind of.
Kind
And-
of.
Important.
They're
Yeah,
a
a little bit.
He's kind of been in this long feud with Kane, and now he won't be able to defend his title anytime soon.
Well, first of all, we don't really know how long he's gonna be away, so I'm just kind of wondering if they're gonna eventually just make him forfeit. I don't think that's gonna happen though.
I know that was originally the plan, was to not let him forfeit, just let him, just leave it on him. We'll kind of Dean Ambrose this for a second and just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they have no idea really how long it's going to take for him to come back. They don't
And
know if it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
And it's one thing if it's the United States Championship. It's another thing when it's the title.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how long the recovery is supposed to be, they're gonna drop the title off
It's a
him.
big deal. Well, I know it's molded into one title, but essentially it's two still. And he has the two highest ones.
Yeah, he still has 2 titles.
Yeah, technically there's still 2
Yeah.
belts for some reason.
Yeah.
But then lies the fact of, okay, if he's gonna be out for a significant amount of time, then what are they gonna do with the title? Like, they can't just randomly put it on somebody. Well, I guess they can, but
They have done it before.
they have done that before.
Yeah,
Maybe this is Batista's chance to get the
can
title.
finally-
He can
finally
finally
get
get that
that.
title.
Hornswoggle! Just kidding.
yeah. Now Yoshitatsu could get it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Yoshi's on the shelf right now as well because he recently injured his finger in a weightlifting accident.
Never mind. He got injured doing something completely not related to being inside of the ring.
Correct.
He was practicing to be in the ring, though, kind of, right?
And Roman Reigns had a serious gash from the live tour
Yeah,
this week.
that was yucky.
Thankfully, though, they were seeing if he also got concussed, which would have then just completely screwed up that whole storyline, too. Thankfully, apparently, there's no concussion.
Yeah.
So he should be, I mean, he might miss Raw or something like that, but he'll be fine. But yeah, a lot of not good things happening in the last few days.
Yeah. Which one do you want to start with? Are we going to do the show first, which wasn't so good? Are we going to do the stock story, which is definitely not good? Are you going to do the Daniel Bryan situation, which is not good? Are you going to do the Roman Reigns, which luckily is is not a bad situation,
Yeah.
technically.
I mean, there's a lot of things
Pick
we can
one.
choose from. Well, we kind of already did Dan O'Brien. Let's get into SmackDown.
Cool, let's do that.
Let's get into
And
SmackDown.
And then we'll give you guys the bad news.
Yeah.
That could be our news
That-
and gossip.
Then
Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of bad news, and ironically, no Barrett tonight.
No Barrett. Yeah, he was consoling Vince.
Maybe. So the show tonight starts off with John Cena coming out responding to Bray Wyatt's challenge that he issued on Monday Night Raw regarding at Payback a last man standing match. As if a cage match a few weeks ago was not enough, now we're going to do a last man standing. And John Cena breaks down did I say last man standing or false count? No, it's last man
Take your
standing.
time.
You said
Take
last
your
man
time.
standing.
I wrote false count anywhere in my notes for some reason, but it's last man standing.
Take your time.
Well, John Cena took the time, ironically enough, to explain to everyone what a last man standing match is.
There are
Because-
some people out there that don't know.
Really?
It's right there in the title, Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
But I know there's some people, believe it or not, there's some people. Hey, people still get hit by trains, so they're idiots in the world. There you go.
All right. Well, yes, for those of you that might be listening that don't know what a last man standing match is, they wrestle, no pinfalls, no submissions, no disqualifications, no nothing. And the match keeps going until one man cannot get on his feet by the count of 10.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
That's why I was just talking about
You
that a minute ago.
know?
Last Man Standing. Oh, what kind of match is that?
Yeah. And then Cena, for some reason,
Boys.
went on a tangent talking about the fact that Bray Wyatt doesn't have any balls. But he never used the word balls. He used any other PG way to say it.
Like?
I didn't even write them all. He said pearls at some point. He said
He used pearls
cojones.
a lot, yeah.
He said, I don't know. He said like 10 different things. I zoned out once I realized what he was doing. And he accepts the challenge. I really thought he
course.
was going to counteroffer.
The Sharks all come in.
And tonight on SmackDown, he issues an open challenge to any member of the Wyatt family and hopes that Bray chooses himself for the match. And then but he's like, he'll probably just send one of those Duck Dynasty rejects to do the work for
Well,
him.
that's passive-aggressive of, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Little.
And then Bray comes on the screen, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this was like a Bray Wyatt promo that I didn't really pay much attention to.
Hers is
Yeah,
still
well-
better. Still. Every single time.
I'm
it's
not
better.
trying to do it better than her.
Yes, you
I
are.
just do it my way.
Your way.
My way.
But your way sucks compared to hers.
All right.
Ah, thank you.
But I'm saying because it's just like now lately, these Wyatt promos have been the same thing because we've not haven't had Bray feud with someone for this long,
Yeah.
That's true.
and it's gotten to the point now where it's too long.
Thank you. I feel the same way. I'm kind of bored with this whole thing. I don't even. I'm gonna get beat for saying this, but I don't really care for the Wyatts anymore. I just
What?
kind of don't. I know. I'm gonna. They're.
I will.
They
I
don't
will
impress
never
me
say
anymore.
that.
I
I'm gonna be
said it.
tired with this feud.
I
I
get what
said it.
I get where you're going because I'm not tired of them. I'm tired of them with Cena.
Yes,
bored.
that I agree with.
Yeah, I've bored with that storyline. I'm bored with his promos because the promos he delivers these incredible promos, and he did this all the way up to WrestleMania. And then he busted out another one on the way to the next pay-per-view. And now it's just like I'm so used to it, and because they're all against the same guy repeatedly, I'm just like something else. Like give me something new.
The main match of this SmackDown was the same main match as it was last week.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're like,
Well, close. I mean, involved all 6 of the same guys, but it was
Yes.
only a one-on-one
We
match.
keep seeing the same people.
It just felt
Yes.
like, all right. I think I just rewinded to May whatever last week.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get a new face next week on SmackDown. Bo Dallas debuts next Friday when they're over in Europe. I wanted it to be tonight in Greensboro, but apparently they're going to give him, like, the big European crowd intro, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So Bo Dallas making his debut next Friday night.
That'll be
Not on Raw,
interesting.
but on SmackDown.
That'll be
Hello.
interesting. Maybe they won't flub this intro.
By Why? What are you talking about, Rome?
No, nothing. Well,
right.
what was your old catchphrase? Never mind. I know.
I mean, maybe one of my Rose buddies would know.
They possibly. would.
Okay.
So they're Rose
Yeah.
buddies now? That's cute.
I'm just
Where have you
saying.
been the last month?
I don't know. I just never noticed you kept saying you said Rose
yeah.
buddies.
The ladies are the rose petals, and if you're a hater, you're a thorn.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. That one I heard. Yeah.
All right. El Torito versus. Oh no, I skip again. I'm all over the place
He
tonight.
skipped something.
Yeah,
We got. You made me skip because we got so many,
Oh, it's
so
my
much bad
fault.
news.
It's my
It's your
fault.
fault.
Sure, I'm blaming you.
He's like, you made me skip it.
Usos versus the
poster.
Roses. Usos versus the Rhodes.
He's like, I had this whole big laptop, but you did it.
I can't read good. Usos versus Rhodes. Oh, it's been a while since we've had this match, and I just sat back and they gave them time, and this was
It was good.
fantastic.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
Loved this match. Super fun, back and forth.
Great ending too.
Great finish.
Yeah.
Lots of kicks.
Yeah.
Lots. Oh, we got a frog splash tonight from the Usos. Not their typical splash.
Not the, but more of the.
What?
Yeah.
That sounded
It's
just-
Do that one more time.
I say it's not so much. It was more like.
For the listeners, there's no difference.
There you go.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah.
see it, but I was just for the people who, well, I mean, they just got to go on YouTube and actually see me kind of lift my knee up 2 inches because I'm behind this table, so I can't do the frog splash. There you go.
Well, Usos.
We some type of way tonight, y'all.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
SmackDown, and this is a SmackDown AfterBuzz. Frog Splash, like I said, Usos get the win, and Cody then continues to be kind of like a really sore loser as of late. He cheated on Raw to get out of the slump, and then they lost tonight, and he just stormed away from Goldust. Thus, now continuing to plant those seeds.
You're finally gonna get that feud, and no one's gonna care.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm finally going to get it, and now I'm at the point where I don't really want it because they've passed that moment.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care.
I mean, it's just like, why did they wait so long?
That's okay. It's good to have him back.
It's gonna be fantastic whenever it happens, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it. But I would enjoy it even more if it was like 4 months ago.
Yeah. That happens a lot, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, considering what have they been doing for the last 4 months?
there you go. Now we can talk about El Torito versus Heath Slater.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And I know Rome would love to talk about this because Heath Slater one-on-one with El Torito. And
I'm sorry. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, El Torito. You know.
let me catch you up, Rome, because El Torito won. He
What?
won.
The same way he won last week.
Who is El Torito?
He's the bull.
He's your boo.
Yeah, you got that right.
So this match, they start very comical with this. One of the Matadors capes in the ring, and now Slater's using it to tease El Torito. And Hornswoggle gets involved. He tries to attack Torito from behind. Torito moves out of the way. Hornswoggle inadvertently low blows Slater. And Torito hit that moonsault on Heath Slater and pins him again. JBL even said on commentary after this match, Michael Cole asked him, if El Torito beat you twice in a row, what would you do? He said he would take 2 weeks off and quit.
When's the last time Heath has won a match? I'm curious.
When he was tag teaming with Justin Gabriel in Nexus.
That's quite some time.
I mean,
He needs to get with JTG and figure out whatever it is he's doing to keep getting a check, but not actually having to work. That's like JTG is like a Republican's nightmare. I swear, he's black. He has a job, but he's not really working.
Do you think Heath would fare better if they kind of took him away and revamped him and
But they've done that.
again?
they revamped him. They
Again?
revamped him from Nexus into the core. Then revamped him from the core into this guy that got beat up by a bunch of legends. Then they revamped him from that into 3MB.
And again? No?
Well, if anything, I'm thinking now it could come to a thing where there could be a beef between Hornswoggle and Slater.
Yeah.
And be like, one of them's got to leave because it's 3MB, not 4 or 3.5 MB or whatever.
Heath Slater is like, I know he hates that he missed the WCW era because he reminds me of one of their guys that can go through like 8 gimmicks on
Yeah.
the way to doing something. I mean, Evan Courageous. That's really all I got to say. That's the only
The
name I
leader
really
of
have to
3
say.
Count?
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
also
There
went
was a
through
boy
bunch.
band in wrestling once.
Yeah.
That sounds sexy.
No, it really wasn't.
I'm being sarcastic.
All right.
The ladies did like Evan Courageous, though. That they did.
Yeah. And then he started wrestling.
Yeah. And then he vanished.
Recap from this past Monday Night on Raw with the Shield dealing with Evolution some more. Stephanie McMahon sicked the entire mid-card on them again, but this time the Shield pulled through and beat everyone up. And it was officially announced on Raw that once again, it's another 6-man tag between the Shield and Evolution. No stipulation, at least as of yet. There's got to be sometimes. It can't just have the same exact match.
I would hope
A
not.
lot of these matches seem like the same exact match. Sorry.
Well, no. Well, this time of year,
Don't apologize. It's true.
no, sure, like give about 3 weeks after WrestleMania, let's say 3 weeks after WrestleMania until Money in the Bank in July. There's always this lull,
And it sucks.
and,
Like, can we protest?
but this is a regular thing.
And we know this, but they do it. They do it every year.
Because like they're trying to build up. It's like, well, it's too soon to build stuff up for SummerSlam, so we're just gonna kind of keep this thing going for longer than it should.
I got you. Here we go. Because it's not just us. There are a lot of people who are displeased with the WWE product right now, but they deal with it because they know what this is. They know
Yeah.
this is the low before it kind of kicks back up again and leads
Like
towards
on
SummerSlam.
TV, it's May sweeps.
Yeah.
So like some other things that might not be as popular on TV are coming on. So at that point, WWE is like, all right, we're gonna take it a little easy.
So here we go. YouTube question of the week:
Oh, let's do it.
Does pro wrestling need an off season?
Ooh.
That's right, fans. Let's find out how much the fans really love
what's
the
your
workers or
answer?
their entertainment. I say yes, and I always have said yes.
Okay.
Being a wrestler, I understand. Like especially those guys work so much more than anybody else in the industry. I mean, they're 4 or 5 days a week wrestling. When you're not, they're doing house shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then they're Raw Monday and SmackDown on Tuesday. They work a lot. And then, they still have families. They still have to travel. They still got, they're trying to make money. They're taking care of their families. But those guys need a break sometime to recover and just rejuvenate. The last report out of Chicago is that CM Punk is absolutely happy and resting and has nothing to do with wrestling right now.
Yeah.
He's just resting at his house, and he looks phenomenal because of it.
I've talked once in a blue moon with people about something like that, and I do agree with you. I do think there should be some type of off season. I think
And it can be rotated. It doesn't have to be just all of them at the same time. It could, this section goes, section C goes out.
Well, I mean,
That's a little tougher though.
Well, yeah,
That would make it hard.
I mean, I can think, WrestleMania. Everyone says is like their Super Bowl. It's like their championship game. You have WrestleMania, and then that Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
Have
That's
that
the
happen.
go home show.
No,
Literally.
I was saying WrestleMania is the go home.
Oh, you would take WrestleMania as the
and
last
then
show?
that Raw is like your season premiere. That happens 2 months later. You give them like 2 months off. You start it in June and start prepping for SummerSlam.
I would like to see up to WrestleMania, then the Raw after WrestleMania, because that's such an iconic Monday Night Raw, and it's more of a party Raw anyway.
But it still would be if there was a break and then that was the first one back.
Well, it's going to be huge either way.
True.
Even if you do that as the last one, those are a lot of international fans there for WrestleMania. They're gonna, if they'd go to SmackDown the next day if it was also in the same city. But when they come back, that Raw is going to be huge. And then when they come back 2 months from there, that will be huge also. It's just like when everybody gets excited when the NFL is coming back. Everybody gets huge excited for MLB opening day. It's that type of feel, and wrestling doesn't have that. The reset.
I'm really glad you brought that up. That's a great question for
I
everyone.
think that's a
Good
good question for the
job.
fans.
That's a great question for them to answer on YouTube as well as on iTunes, where they can
Boom.
leave comments
Aw.
and like and subscribe and give that 5-star rating for us. And you can do it for all the other great wrestling shows we do here at AfterBuzz, such as Raw. We do SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, Total Divas. We've just begun Legends House. There are some rumors going around. Sometime maybe later this season, we might have one of said legends here in studio. So make sure you stick around for that. And of course, you see the full schedule of all the shows at AfterBuzzTV.com. And make sure you're also keeping up with Chase and Marie Menounos. There's only, I think, one episode left. One episode. Season finale coming up. Catch up this weekend while you can if you've missed any episodes so you can be on point for that finale. It's awesome. We've been
Be
on the
on
show.
point for the finale.
Be on point.
Be on point.
If you've fallen behind, shame on you. Watch them. Be on point. Be
on
on top
point.
of things.
Be on point.
Yeah, be on point. Just like Eva Marie was as a special referee tonight
She was.
for Nikki versus Natalia. She was pristine. I thought I was watching Earl Hebner. Mike Chioda needs some lessons from Eva Marie. Because,
What was your favorite part of Eva Marie?
the fact that she didn't know where the bell was to ring.
She couldn't move. She couldn't count. She couldn't walk. She couldn't put makeup on. Her face.
What?
No, look, she's
The-
a
the floor is
beautiful.
yours.
Yeah,
She's
please.
a beautiful
Please,
girl. She's
Corey.
got a banging body, but it's just so unfortunate that she doesn't utilize it. That makes any sense. And her face is always a different color than the rest of her body. You guys check it out because she's obviously wearing like foundation 3 times lighter than the rest of her body. It's so weird.
I have noticed that. I can say.
Yes.
As someone who used to be a referee, one of the key things that we were taught from day one, when you go down to make a count, you should be looking at the person's shoulders because that's what they use to kick out.
She can only handle one thing at a time, and right then she was like, I need to kneel down and go up and down with my arms. That's all she knew. That's all she knew.
I'm saying this because when Nikki rolled her up, she made the count looking at Natalia's backside.
She didn't even count, literally. She was just like,
Well, she didn't know the count because there was a point where both people's shoulders were
Look.
down, and she just kind of sat there. It was like, wait,
It was complicated. She needed time to think about what the number between 1 and 3 was. Okay, guys? Just let her have her moment.
but
Give her time.
in the midst of all this, though, there seems to be some storyline brewing where they're kind of turning Natalia heel, which I'm kind of excited about.
yeah, yeah.
Because she kind of threw a temper tantrum on Raw when she lost to Nikki. And tonight, when Nikki rolled her up, thanks to Eva Marie's wonderful counting, Natalia got pissed at Eva. Who knows if that was legit?
What's that move called that Natty pulled on
Which one?
Nikki where she lifted her up into like a kind of like a bridge?
Backslide.
I thought that was
Are you thinking
really
the backslide?
Cool. I might be. I don't know what it's
I
called.
think so.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah,
think
that was
that's what
cool.
she's talking about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, you're fine.
I liked it.
But I'm excited because this is a show that's not Total Divas, and we're talking about Natalia.
Actually, we're talking about Eva Marie. But
Well, I was bringing in Natalia.
We've moved on
Yeah.
to
But like
better
a
moved
things.
toward
like a
Natalia.
storyline that could
Yeah.
involve Natalia in some
It'd be
fashion.
dope to
And
see her as a heel.
huh?
I'd like to see her as a heel.
Yeah.
I think she was only really a heel back when she was managing
Yeah.
at the very beginning of her career and wasn't really doing much then.
I can see that off of her. Like it just seems like that would be her fit because she's so nice away
yeah.
from the ring. I could just see that side of her coming out as a heel in the ring.
kind of be like the temper tantrum,
Well, she's got that jacket that would be so heelish too.
Yeah.
You know that thing.
the heart jackets.
Yeah.
And it's not her fault. It's Beth Phoenix's fault. Like because every time I see her, I see Beth Phoenix, and it's just like yeah. But I hope so. I hope something. Yeah.
Well, that should come. She's come a long way from reverting to being Great Khali's valet for all that short
Yeah.
time.
All I was
Yeah.
saying, just put her in the ring. She can work. She can work, guys.
There was also the storyline where they had her farting.
What?
That existed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where she had stomach issues.
She seems to have that a lot on Total Divas as well. so-
What the hell goes through creative's mind? that's I just for the public. For the first time on the airwaves, I want to implore that I need to know WWE. I implore you, please explain to us what the hell goes on in those creative meetings sometimes. Like, who was the person that said, yeah, I got this idea. I think Natty should be farting. And who were the guys that went, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. That was good. I think we should do that. Like, they actually thought that would sell. Like, what? If I get started, I'll keep going.
Let's go backstage with Renee Young talking with Dolph Ziggler then. Because apparently Dolph Ziggler sent out a tweet
weird.
about
Yeah.
Batista's the weak
Batista.
link in Evolution. Didn't we have the same exact story on SmackDown when Batista first
Yes.
came back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't it based on a tweet that then Ziggler had to wrestle Batista?
Hey, tweets are the thing now. Just saying.
I mean, we
them.
were half joking earlier about storylines going on too long where it felt like we were watching a rerun. This literally was a rerun from 2 months ago of what they did on one SmackDown. That led to their match, and JBL was praising Dolph Ziggler on commentary, where he said, you want to make a name for yourself, you don't call out Zack Ryder, you call out Batista.
Batista.
Poor Zack Ryder.
Poor Zack Ryder.
He's not even there for a squash.
He's not, yeah.
He got squashed by not even being in a squash.
Yeah, he lost without being on camera.
Yeah. Just, it's not even in the building. Taking an L. It's like, here's this L, take it with you.
Like some grilled chicken and catering beat him.
Yeah.
This was a complete Batista squash match, and then all of a sudden Ziggler started making his comeback, and in the 10 punches in the corner, Batista gives him a low blow, and right in front of the ref. Ref rings the bell. So Ziggler beat Batista, technically. Then Batista bombed him in the ring, pulled him out of the ring, and then Batista bombed him on the barricade, just completely destroying Ziggler.
Oh, Ziggler.
Let's have a moment of silence for the career that was Dolph Ziggler's.
I want to cut you off because we have a bigger moment of silence, and that's for Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Because that's next.
We had,
I don't want to do back-to-back moments of...
multiple funerals tonight.
That was
probably the most tragic thing other than Eva Marie on the show.
I was ecstatic when Titus went into the ring against Sheamus and got the microphone and started cutting a great promo.
Here we go.
He's like, you're the United States champ. Granted, you didn't pin anybody because you won it in a battle royal. And how are you the United States champion if you're not from the United States? Well, you know what? You're tough, but so are divas because everyone in WWE is tough. So I'm going to give the United States champion that's not from the United States an opportunity to leave the ring. He doesn't. Titus is like, fine, ring the bell. He goes, drops the microphone, bro kick.
Do that clap again. Just pro kick.
Bro kick.
Everybody's got to do it just like
another
that.
Peter Griffin moment for him.
Yeah, that's like that's my Roadhouse.
Yeah,
moment.
exactly.
Bro kick. And not only does Sheamus hit the bro kick and then pin him immediately, he stands there and laughs at Titus for like 10 seconds before going down to pin him.
It's like, man, at least
Why?
He pinned Daniel Bryan fast.
Titus would make a fantastic United States
and
champion.
Titus too, just Titus.
They don't see him like that for some.
Why?
I don't know if they're waiting. Just keep him on ice. We'll give him something in a couple years. No, like there's a such thing as a guy not being ready for a certain spot, and we understand that. Like Roman Reigns isn't ready for the headline spot where
he's getting there. He will be there.
Yeah, where he
just
will
not
be
yet.
But Titus is a guy they haven't even allowed to get a down. He hasn't even been able to carry the ball for a second to just show them what he can really do. The little bit we saw was the primetime players.
Yeah.
And that's when we really started to buy into him. The whistle and everything he was doing was
You know what
funny.
Titus is? Titus is a third down running back with a terrible offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he is. And we're just waiting.
Yeah.
Get a couple people to block for him, and yeah, he can break a couple.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Sad.
nah, they don't want to. I don't know. And it goes back again to the whole Sheamus thing. Just, you guys know what I said last week. I think that character needs something else.
I mean, for me, just the fact that as of right now, Sheamus, he's a lot less charismatic than Titus, and for him to bro kick him right away like that just really upset me.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing against Sheamus beating him in the match.
Yeah.
It's just...
I got no problem with
It's just
that.
like
Yeah.
the way it happened so
way it
quick.
happened.
Didn't
Yeah.
even give him a chance to turn around and.
It's like those
Nothing.
two could have had a quality match.
Yeah.
They've had quality matches.
That's a feud that could actually happen. But,
They're two big dudes that can brawl.
But apparently not, because, bro kicking now what's Titus's value.
Well, and then like that, we were talking last week kind of about, Sheamus almost teasing the heel turn thing. Now with Daniel Bryan on the shelf for who knows how long, if that was a possibility, you think that's just completely scrapped? Because we're going to need a guy that the kids still really cheer for besides Cena again. No, Sheamus, we might just have to jump you back up to that number 2 guy for a couple months. He has the title.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sometimes the title doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
True. No, you're
In this
right.
situation is kind of one of those.
Yeah.
Well, we shall wait and see. And we'll wait and see when Byron Saxton ever comes off the Exotic Express. Because he goes backstage. Lot of crazy people. Looks like they've all been like kicked out of a rave for partying too hard. They're talking about how loud the party and the music is, yet we can hear them perfectly clear.
It was like the quietest loud party I've ever seen.
Those people weren't even close to real ravers.
And then Adam Rose comes out. Saxon's asking about Swagger and Zeb Coulter because Dave started kind of having a little beef. And Adam Rose calls them lemons, and he hates lemons, except for his buddy Lemonade. Come out, Lemonade. And out comes this he's short, he's bald, he's got this huge smile on his face.
Yeah.
He
Went dancing across.
He looked awfully familiar.
Yeah. I know. I thought it was Kurt Angle, too.
Yeah, I was thinking Angle.
Yeah, I did.
I also, for a split second, I thought Goldberg, but he was taller.
Yeah, he was taller.
He was taller.
He was about 6'3". Yeah.
Then I thought Gilbert, but Gilbert was thinner.
Yeah, he was a little bit thinner. Yeah.
But I don't know. There was something
taller.
There was something that was just money about this guy.
There was something money
Yeah.
in this guy. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah.
Lemons make money.
And the crowd was the loudest when he came out.
When he came out, that was the pop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was the huge. Everybody popped for the lemon.
Yeah. And Adam Rose asked Byron Saxton if he's a lemon or a rosebud. Saxton then took Adam Rose's lollipop, which was kind of odd.
That sounds weird.
And apparently became
sounds weird.
And apparently became a rosebud, and then they hopped in the Exotic Express and partied the night away.
In their quiet little party bus.
In the quiet party bus.
The quietest party bus.
To be
ever.
fair, though, there were some really hot girls on that bus.
Well, when one of them is the boss, and then yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the quietest party bus ever. Whenever you're standing right outside the party bus and people are dancing next to you outside the party bus, and you can clearly hear what the guy's saying next to you, you're not at a really good party. This party kind of sucks. Yeah. And it looked weird, like this grouping of, I know what it's supposed to be,
It just
but
looks weird.
It's weird.
They're all like
because-
crunched
Yeah,
instead of like partying.
They're trying to ride that line in between like edginess and
Oddities?
yeah, sadly, damn. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, because I want to say they're riding the line between like, hey, this is good for kids to watch, along with, hey, these people are partying, this should be kind of edgy.
I'm actually also kind of surprised because they're bringing a lot of NXT, like most, if not all those guys were NXT guys.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, those guys should be down in NXT now creating their own individual character. It worked fine for Adam Rose to do that. And then Adam Rose just have local guys and just have different outfits and things every week. It kind of spices up. And just use local guys so they get their payday. And this way, then these NXT guys won't, I don't want to say typecast, but say the guy that was dressed as a Viking. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, say they eventually want to use something with him. He'll eventually come out in some new character, and everyone's going, oh, that was that Viking.
I know that black guy that was standing right in between Byron Saxton and Adam Rose. He's, you guys saw that. I'll just let you guys talk about that.
I was a little fixated on the lemon, so.
The lemon and the bunny, they're over. Like, I want to see them make a tag team. That'll work.
The bunny and the lemon.
Hornswoggle?
Nah, they
will beat 3MB.
Yeah, they would beat 3MB.
They would beat 3MB.
And Los Matadors.
And Zack Ryder.
And Zack Ryder. Yeah.
And also maybe Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
Maybe Titus.
But we got to talk.
Did Titus ever wake up?
I think he was still in the ring by the time we got back. Sandow apparently made an open challenge to any superstar to wrestle him. And out comes Santino. Okay.
Yeah.
I was excited because, hey, Santino's not wrestling Fandango.
You know what? I almost forgot about this match.
Let's stop right there.
It was so quick.
You deliver a challenge, and the person who answers your challenge is Santino. What does that say about what they think of your challenge?
And then what does that say when Santino beats the man who made that said challenge in 30 seconds?
Look, Santino is just trying to impress his girl Emma.
Well, he looked good beating a guy that quickly.
Sad though. I don't think anything impresses her when it comes to Santino.
Kicked her on the way into the ring.
She's like, good job, buddy.
But now came
Friend zone.
But then came the really interesting part, which Sandow kind of started on Raw. He suddenly got a mic and was complaining about, he does these things and gets no respect, blah, blah, blah. And then he got cut off by his opponent's music on Raw. Tonight, he grabs the mic and says, "Aren't I a great soldier?"
While doing the
And while then
handcuff
saying,
thing.
"I'm handcuffed."
Yep.
And he's like, "Wow, I'm surprised that someone's keeping my microphone on." And then they eventually cut his mic. I was like, I'm wondering where they're going with this, but I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued, but it's not gonna have that same organic feel of CM Punk.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
no,
this
not
is.
at all, not at all.
That's
Yeah.
They're making what CM Punk did in reality, even though it was a work shoot promo that he cut. They're taking that process and they're gonna use that formula for Sandow. Looks like.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it.
Who has legitimate complaints? He's been in the WWE whether
long
developmental all the way. He was there in 2004.
Yeah, he's been there a long time.
Yeah. So if anybody's got a gripe, it would be him.
And they pushed him, gave him money in the bank. He had a great match with Cena, and then like, oh yeah, we don't really need to use you much anymore.
So we'll see. We'll see what they do with it.
R-Truth versus Cesaro. Heyman comes out, talks about, that number one again and bringing up the Andre John Memorial Battle Royal, the three-way elimination match from Extreme Rules, beating up RVD. And out comes Cesaro. Cesaro won in about a minute.
Looking fine doing it. Just saying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Uppercut, neutralizer, just destroyed R-Truth.
that
did what
match
we
even
expected him to do with R-Truth.
Yeah.
I forgot that match even happened.
I forgot about the one previously, the Santino one.
Well, think about that. We went Sheamus versus Titus. Then we had that Exotic Express segment. But Sheamus, Titus, Sandow, Santino, R-Truth, Cesaro. Those three matches probably combined for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's so terrible.
It's not looking. I think the WWE needs like a Rooney Rule or something.
I just realized
This wasn't a good episode for black guys. Still for the I set the precedent last week, and now
And they listened to you because on Raw, Rusev battled Langston, Big E.
This one's
and at that
sad.
point it's no longer a conspiracy. Like it's like, okay, you're just gonna throw it in our face now. And they've been articles written about it. I'm not the only one who's noticed. Other people have noticed. And then tonight we get what we got. Still not a good day. I just want to see a black guy get one win. Is it too much that's for just one win? Just
Kofi was
Kofi
United
was
States
nowhere to be
for a
seen
very
today.
short time.
yeah.
A while ago, about a year ago.
Yeah, you talking about a year ago.
I'm trying to give you some.
Well, Torito won.
He's not black.
No, but he's Hispanic.
Look, you still got an edge over the Asiatics, okay?
That's true.
Yoshitatsu,
We hadn't seen.
like they totally
haven't even seen
stereotype us too, like
Yoshi.
ding 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 when he comes in, and
He comes into like the Japanese national anthem.
you know, and like all poppy and Tokyo.
When is you know what? That's another question I have. When is the WWE gonna do a good foreign gimmick that's not a European gimmick? Because they've mastered the European wrestler coming in
They have.
and being that guy, but they've never done it with a Japanese wrestler.
They had a good start with it many years ago with Hakushi.
Yeah,
That
I
was probably
loved
the
him.
best one.
I
And,
loved him.
And then they made him friends with Barry Horowitz.
Yeah,
And that
then they
ruined
killed
it.
And I would say they do it for Latino wrestlers, but not really because the Latino wrestlers usually have their reputation set before they even show up in the WWE.
Del Rio.
Yeah.
I think they should definitely throw in a Japanese wrestler in there and make them big because Japan.
They just
loves
signed a guy.
Wrestling.
They just signed
Kenta.
a phenomenal Japanese wrestler named Kenta, who he's made
Kenta.
appearances in the country before, but has thrived in Japan.
Sweet.
Japanese wrestler, just
a beast.
signed an NXT developmental deal.
Well, because wrestling is such a big deal in Japan overseas, it'll just help them out in the Asian world.
And he's the
can
type
do
of
it.
guy, if used correctly,
Yeah.
that could do something.
And well, the thing is, Yoshitatsu is badass too, but he's not.
Not like
really
Kenta.
utilized.
Yeah.
Not like Kenta.
Maybe not like Kenta. I haven't seen Kenta yet.
It's not like Hayabusa,
YouTube
but
Kenta later
Hayabusa
tonight.
was my favorite from over there.
Huh?
Hayabusa, he was my favorite.
All right. Main event.
Till he broke his neck.
Yeah, then that happened.
Is he okay?
He's alive.
he broke his freaking neck.
But yeah.
John Cena waiting to find out which member of the Wyatt family he's taking on. The Wyatts surround the ring, But Cena's like, I outsmarted you, because out come the Usos to have his back.
In matching shorts.
Neon green.
The same thing we did
Last week.
Yep. So then Cena ends up going one-on-one with Eric Rowan.
I like that. That's a twist.
Was it?
Kind of. More.
Was it really a twist?
I don't know.
don't
I'm
even
trying.
It would have been a twist if
I mean, really.
it would have been a twist if
Help
he
me out
actually
here.
took on Bray.
Yeah.
That would have been the twist. If Bray actually stepped up and wrestled him.
No.
Off season.
I thought Rowan did a solid job in this
did.
match. I thought the match was very good. With the other match, other than that tag team match, I would rank this match second for the whole
Okay.
night.
I'm sitting here like doing the process in my head has nothing to do even with this match, but just like you said, ended right after the Raw or whatever, and then you let the NXT guys come up, and whichever one you think is ready to join the main roster, make it like a 8-week like NXT focus. Just focus on them. Just show them on the main show. And then, when you got your 2 or 3 who are ready to join, leave them at the top of the heap when the storyline comes to an end. WWE's back. Here comes Monday Night Raw. And you also got 3 new established stars because people have been watching them for 2 weeks.
And 3 weeks. Well, like the Wyatts were NXT guys.
Yeah.
And the rest is history with
Boom.
that. Harper tried to interfere towards the end of this match, but then the Usos got involved, got him out of the way. Cena hit the AA on Rowan and gets the win, and then has to stare down with Bray to end SmackDown.
How many stare downs have they had now?
94.
That's cool.
And so that ends the SmackDown, but then we have the news, the big news that really emerged yesterday with that whole music and everything.
This just in.
Well, WWE reached an agreement to remain with NBC Universal, keep Raw on USA Network, keep SmackDown on Sci-Fi. A lot of people were not very happy with this because a lot of people invested in the WWE stock because a lot of people wanted the impression that Raw, when this contract was ending in October, was going to go to the network.
And I knew that would not happen.
And apparently, nearly half the people that have invested in their stocks or something like that thought it would happen.
Yeah.
And as of right around when SmackDown went on the air, their stock has dropped how much in about 24 hours?
48%.
And Vince McMahon has lost how much money in a day?
$340 million.
That's a lot.
That he's no longer. I thought I saw something that he's no longer a billionaire.
Yeah, he's
from
not.
the last 24 hours.
That's
And this
insane.
is let me tell you how kick-ass Vince McMahon is. He's been knocked out of the billionaire club twice.
Yeah.
That's how kick-ass this guy is.
But now it comes to question.
But
This is like a catastrophic. This is
a hit.
This is like
This
an
is a
unheard
real
of type hit in 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. It doesn't take long for your stock to drop. The TV deal was underwhelming. Everyone knew that Raw was not exclusively, if you were really in the know, it's not exclusively going to go to the network, which is why they still have that deal set up right now. There's too much money coming from Viacom that the WWE can't touch Viacom when it comes to actual money.
Sure.
So when you got that type of situation going on, it's hard to say I'm going to step away from the networks completely. Did they have the option? Yeah. But what was the reason they stepped away? Did it have something to do with advertisers? What did it have to do with? Plus, you still reach more people on cable than you ever will with the network.
Right.
That point for the network to be that seamless with pretty much the entire United States, when you got that many people watching it, that's 10 years down the line, 10 years down the line.
But I mean, I was even hearing, and people were also getting really excited about them possibly moving to a different network.
And they could have.
I mean, there were rumors that I read that there was a possibility of going to FX. Mm-hmm. There were rumors I read.
Which is owned by
Fox.
Okay.
There were rumors about them going to A&E.
Mm-hmm. I did hear about that, but I think A&E was just using that. That was a rumor, but I think that was more of a ploy in other negotiations.
There were rumors about them going back to Spike.
Yeah, that could have happened. Well, see, the thing is, when TV deals are up, and you know about this, you can speak to it as well. When there's a fight,
she's like started blushing. She's like, "Oh, he gave me a compliment."
when there's a negotiation going on over a television contract and everyone's in line, you can't listen to the rumors because there'll be so many people playing against each other.
Of course.
Yeah, so I knew it wasn't going to go to any of those places. I knew USA would be where it would end back up. What I didn't know is that the deal wouldn't be as monetarily positive as we thought it would be.
Which causes Vince to lose $340 million in a day.
And it wasn't just that. I mean, it was also the fact that the investors were concerned. One, you got Vince McMahon running creative and business. They're concerned about that. The WWE Network, I don't know the hard numbers, but last I heard was around 1 million subscribers.
Last I heard, it wasn't even up to that point yet. It was about 750,000.
750,000, okay. Not good.
No, they expected by WrestleMania to be well over 1 million.
Yeah, and when you have that many people paying $10 a month as opposed to $60 to watch a pay-per-view, and you lose all of that revenue, it's got to come from somewhere else, and they haven't been able to fill that hole yet. So you got that jumping around, and more and more people are gonna just jump on the network because it's cheaper. So if you're gonna be doing that to watch it, you also it's like it wasn't thought out. What are we going to do? DirecTV is no longer carrying pay-per-views.
Neither is Dish.
Dish Network is no longer carrying WWE pay-per-views. So, it's one of those situations. When they first laid down the plan for the network, I went, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot fiscally. But, hey, it's cool for me. I'm a consumer. $10 a month. Hell yeah,
for the wrestling fan, I mean, like, badass.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and then, the actual TV show wise, then you're dealing with your champion injured financially. And you were saying, like, right before we went on the air, you got sent this article about some big investment company.
Firm. Yeah, new investment firm bought in to the WWE.
Because the stocks are now so low that they're like,
we're
going to take on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would. This is the time to go out and
I mean,
I got a couple G's I can invest.
A double.
Yeah. A little dibble dabble.
Yeah.
Lemelson Capital. They bought a major stake. They won't. I don't know the exact amount because they're not saying what percentage of stock. Obviously, they're not a majority owner or anything like that. They didn't buy a majority, but they did make a substantial purchase of WWE stock. And they're calling for them to replace the executive management team or calling for new ownership.
Do you remember hearing about, like, this was months ago, like before the network came out, how many millions of shares of stock that actually Stephanie McMahon sold? She sold she ended up having like a couple $1 million back to her, like that, of stock that she personally sold of hers. I don't know. That probably has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but since we're talking about the stocks, I'm like,
never say that the money doesn't have anything to do with anything. Always watch the money.
Well,
always watch.
I'm just
the
thinking.
money.
I'm like, now all of a sudden we're talking about that. I'm just like, wait, I remember.
Like this company has fair value. This capital firm has valued WWE stock from between $8.25 and $11.88. They were $30 on March the 17th.
Yeah, that was 2 months ago.
Yeah. Let you know where the WWE has been or what's going on with it. So they're gonna lose. I mean, they're already standing to lose $45 to $52 million on the network, just on the network
for the year.
Yeah, for the year. Yeah. So that's a huge chunk of money. I mean, the WWE gross income a year, I believe, is around $118 million. So if you're talking about
nearly half of that. Wow.
And that's just their profits. So
this is a lot of money we're talking about. This is like lots and lots and lots of
dollars.
This
is the big wallet. This is the big wallet.
Yeah, this is the big boy wallet.
Yeah.
This isn't my wallet. This is the big boy wallet.
Yeah, this is real. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it because right now everything is interesting. When you have another investment firm coming in, pretty much telling the McMahons, who still own the majority of the stock, I believe, hey, you guys need to make some changes. And we can say that because now we've bought our seat at the board table, and you got your champion down, and you have all these other issues right now, and you have the network doing to the numbers what it's doing. It's going to be an interesting future.
And one possible change, if they decided to try to bring it up, off season, which was our question for this week that
Yeah.
you came up with. So make sure you go on our YouTube page and answer that question. Do you think WWE now, especially in this financial issue, would need an off season? Whether it's a few weeks, a couple months, I don't know. Tell us what you think, whether or not that's a good idea. And of course, you can tweet us all other questions or comments and all that fun stuff. And you can tweet us all individually. Kaori, how can people tweet you?
You can find me on Instagram as well as Twitter at KAORIOUS. And I'm so excited for you guys because you guys are going to be wrestling tomorrow.
This is true.
So
And it's not just
Do your
JJ Steele
excited face
wrestling.
again? Oh.
It's not just it's not just JJ Steele wrestling. I'm technically
that's
wrestling
the
as
best
well.
part. And you have been training, so now people
And
get to see
I
you
am
in
still
action.
standing.
Been training?
Over the last month, I've been training.
Yes, you
Training?
have.
Yeah, I have.
Not at the buffet table, baby.
Well, that's after training.
Oh, okay, cool.
Rome, how can people reach out to you?
Rome the Ruler on Twitter, as always. And if you want to follow me on IG, it is Empire of Rome with underscores in between the words. And you can also find me on BHL now, actually. Black Tea Party, here we go.
And you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. And like we were talking about, this Saturday, if you're in the Indio, California area, you can watch 5-on-5 match for possession of the company. Team Rosenberg versus Team Stepdaddy. Next week.
Yeah.
Next week here on on SmackDown AfterBuzz.
Just real quick, because we're working out the issue on next week. March 28th, if you're in the LA area.
May 28th.
May. I'm sorry. I have done that twice now. May the 28th. Flappers Comedy Club in the main room. I'm on there on the 8 o'clock show, so come out, check it out, support.
There you go. And I was just saying, next week, I might be owning the wrestling company when I'm on the show.
You could.
And why am I saying I could? I will be owning the wrestling company.
I'm trying to make
JJ
it happen.
Steele's on my team for crying out loud.
Don't let the stock
Do
fall.
I get a wrestling name?
You want a wrestling game?
Yeah.
All right.
Fans.
Hey, what will her wrestling name be? Tune in next week and find out. For Kaori, Takee, and Romore, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
But
Buzz you later. What was that?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.